Hi, Circle. GG first. How's it going? We are just getting set up for this bingo match.
Oh, my neck. Oh, I needed that badly.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, how's it going?
Pretty good.
Oh, yeah, I did
Excited.
look coming in. Can see it was
Yeah, hope y'all are doing well. Glad I'm able to
Oh my
cast
god,
this.
another one.
Yeah,
Big neck pop.
thank you for doing it. I really appreciate
Yeah, this
the
neck has
kind
been
of last.
bothering me all fucking
Yeah,
day.
of course. I was gonna plan on
All
streaming
fucking week.
tonight anyway, so this ended up working out well. I'm glad that it got pushed back enough so I
Nice.
could actually do it.
Yeah, glad it worked out.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was great.
So hi Vex, how's it going? Okay, let me actually post in the UFO 50 Discord that this match is starting shortly. And then I'm gonna have to update colors. Purple and orange is gonna be a fun board visually. Okay.
I thought it'd be better than pink and orange.
Yeah, I mean both would look nice, but I do think the contrast with purple would look better.
Okay.
It's always nice to have the
Yeah.
opposite colors on the board, I think, when you can.
Woo-wee.
My thoughts exactly.
Truly necessary.
Okay, and then is it gonna just work if I actually click watch multiple streams now? Of course not, why would it? Okay. This happens every time I try to capture games for some reason. It like has to load once and then not work, and then the second time I open it, it works perfectly fine.
For some reason, it's putting me at 1440 60 FPS again, so I'm just going to change that to 480p.
Good call.
Mostly from my end. I don't know how bad it'll be on your end, but it will slow it down on my end if I have it any higher.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I trust my laptop, but probably better to not trust it that much.
Oh, here's my previous bingos file.
I always like keeping my bingo file until I'm either doing more bingo practice or...
I spent 12 minutes in Porgy doing Lammy.
I learned from Spicy Bingo, apparently Porgy is more legit of a bingo game than I realized. At least in terms of, like, goals that are actually pretty fast.
Yeah, it is. It's a bit annoying and can feel a little slow, but it like a lot of them are pretty fast actually.
Yeah, I, like, pretty recently learned the one where you just have to go down to the abyss, and I thought that was going to take forever, and then I was like, oh, it takes 3 dives if you're, like, playing it safe.
Yeah.
I thought that too, initially in like season 1, and then halfway through I learned it and I was like, this is 3 minutes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, this is 1 dive if you're feeling confident, and 2 dives if you were like, I don't know, I better grab that extra fuel and stuff.
Yeah, not too tough. I've been practicing a little Porgy myself.
Yeah, I need to just have, like, a full Porgy day, because I haven't really played it since I cherried it. Okay, and then the only thing I need to change on my end is your name color now, heckaroni, which should be good. And we're both in the bingo sync, yes, it's displaying it properly, right? Yep, okay. So I guess on my end, I am pretty much good to go. I assume y'all are as well.
Yeah, should be.
Yeah,
Okay. So quick recap, mostly for the stream, in case anyone's watching this now. This is a UFO 50 bingo match between a guy and heckaroni, which is a B2 tier match. These players are playing their 3rd game this season, as you can tell by the records. It should be a very fun game, I think. I am excited to see this match. I'll get into more of like the UFO 50 bingo preview stuff as we're talking over the board in a sec. Let me open live split, because that's the one thing I'm missing.
Oh, I need to do that too. Thank you.
Yep. But other than that, I think y'all are good to mute and deafen, and I'll just talk to y'all in Bingo Sync chat if I need to.
All right.
I'll give
Sounds
you
good.
just a heads up, I'll give you a 3, 2, 1 reveal, and then I'll try to give you a 3, 2, 1 go, but please trust your own timers over my 3, 2, 1 go, because I am typing on mobile, so it might take a sec.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise I think we should be good.
Alright, good luck.
Okay.
Okay. 0.00. Oh, wait. Colon 00. Okay. I still need to capture this. And
And you just left the bingo sync room?
Followers a day.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll be back.
I hit
Okay.
my 333 follower goal, and then
That might happen a couple of
lost
times.
a follower a day.
Hopefully I notice each time. Oh well. Good luck. I'm gonna
Yep.
meet him deaf.
should be good. Good luck.
Alright.
Let me make sure I'm capturing all of a guy's window, because for some reason his window is like really tall. I do notice that as I'm capturing other players' captures, I am gonna need to be careful that I'm actually capturing their like full window. Yeah, because I think Heckaroni's window's cut off a little bit also, because I should be able to see the live logo in Discord. How weird. Okay. Well, anyway, welcome to UFO 50 Bingo, everyone. I'm CO. I'm going to be casting this B2 tier match between a guy and Heckaroni. If you don't know what UFO 50 Bingo is, basically we have an hour 45 to just grab as many goals on this bingo board as possible. Let me ask the players if they're ready. And then we will do a 3, 2, 1 go. And then they will have 1 minute to review the board, kind of read where they want to go first, and then a 3, 2, 1 go on the actual like file. 3, 2, 1 reveal. And I'm like 2 seconds behind on this, but that's fine.
I'm trying to have everyone evenly spaced.
Okay, sorry about that. So they have revealed the board, and general goal in the center square is pretty interesting. There are 2 corner spaces that are just gold discs. Unfortunately, the cherry on this card makes that a little like slightly less valuable, unless you're going to try to go for the full cherry, I guess.
We're very much asleep during those hours.
We have a lot of very fast goals on here. And I am excited to watch these players get into it. They're already at the 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1, go. I am kind of curious to see where these players start off, and Ninpak and Waldorf's journey doesn't surprise me too much. I know a guy's probably got to be thrilled that Mooncat Gold Disc is on a card. One of the interesting things about playing against a player when you like know they're really, really good at a game is that player can also kind of just wait forever on that goal if they want to, because most of the time, like, a guy is like the Mooncat runner wouldn't really want to play a guy in Mooncat myself. So don't blame Heckaroni for not going into it right away. And good to see the Ninpak goal get met fast. Eat 5 sandwiches is a very fast goal if you know where they are. And having 4 Puffins in Waldorf's journey is pretty manageable, but you do still have to be kind of careful and like sweep up and down the map and stuff to make sure that you're catching everything. Okay, I just wanted to make sure the timer was good to go. So looking at this board myself, like, I think the longest goal on this board is the Valbrace one, and maybe Pilot Party. And everything else is, like, very, very fast. So I wouldn't be surprised if this match, once players start getting spaces, it's kind of just a relentless pace of spaces. a guy finding the beach ball kill on the squid to go down here and grab these extra shells. Sorry, heckaroni. You gotta remember that a guy's matches are pretty much always gonna be on the left because his name starts with A. So heckaroni is in a decent spot here. Jumping backwards for a life is always a little tricky. I think they were trying instead to just jump backwards for this weather vane, which is understandable. I personally don't like playing with weather either. Oops. That, like, corner cement block right there was actually, like, pretty in the way, so I don't blame them for struggling with that a little bit. And the guy jumps up 1-0, grabs the top 5. Let me actually pull that up so I can, like, type that in. Player 2, General 1. Head-to-head Waldorf. Hell yeah. I am always a fan of seeing my favorite walrus. Especially twice. So for those that don't know, Waldorf is randomly generated each time, so... Oh, almost a direct head-to-head after that restart, too. So Waldorf's randomly generated each time, so depending on the board layout, like for instance, we just saw a puffin on this side, and some of these puffins can be pretty close together in terms of like percentage, depending on where they like randomly generate to. So this will be a pretty intense direct head-to-head here with this. While they're doing said head-to-head, I'm gonna finish making sure that this isn't like extra cropped. Sorry, the players this season like all kind of have like very slightly different capture sizes, so it's been a little tough to figure it out until they actually like go live. And until like an hour or two ago, I wasn't planning on doing a Bingocast tonight, but this match still needed one, and I like casting, so we will fill in where we can. Okay, that looks better. So heckaroni is up 2-1 in terms of puffins currently, but the second puffin is just on screen underneath. Oh, that's a far launch. It's okay, you can just shoot back, but doing that shot quickly off of the cloud is tough. There's a lot of fish nearby for a guy though, so... Hi Elfie, how's it going? So we are pretty much directly tied as much as you like possibly can be in Waldorf's journey here. We do see a third puffin on heckaroni's side, so it could potentially just come down to whoever sees the third and fourth puffin first. The guy obviously would need 2. Both players are looking to probably pick up a cherry here as well, which is why I assume they're going so hard for the shells. Waldorf's journey is one of the very good cherries to go for. Ooh, and unfortunately takes a death, which knocks him back down to 2. And also, heckaroni is now out of energy, which is not a great sign for this. So this was pretty directly tied. Oh, and the fourth puffin was right there too. That's hard. If heckaroni had just launched it down there with all the lives that he did have, then he would have had this goal. But the goal is have 4 puffins at once, so suddenly a guy is back in the lead on this one. Both players should have another puffin or 2. At least another puffin. I assume 2 puffins at this point, although heckaroni's kind of getting close to the end. And is going to have to launch forward here. So it's tied 3-3. I don't actually know if there's a puffin in the last 10%. I'm not 100% sure on that. Oh, and definitely not if unfortunate. And also out of energy and at the bottom of the map with a little bit of a tailwind here is tough, because yeah, I think you might have to launch back to the left with this ceiling here. Yep, that works too. Tough. That was a very well fought run. And also a guy falls off, so down to 2 lives here. And I don't think either player is, like, I don't think either player was, like, gonna see another puffin anyway. Oh, just kidding. There is another puffin, but unfortunately it's not gonna be enough because, a guy is gonna be one short here. Oh, and both players have also earned, extra lives as well in Waldorf, because that was this goal. There's a chance the heckaroni is just rushing that goal now. And the heckaroni will have this goal up to 2. Okay. And the guy is going to go ahead and take the restart here while heckaroni dips out for some Campanella progress. This will also theoretically count towards Pilot Party if they're able to get up to 15 lives. For those that can't read, Pilot Party is one of the general goals that says collect 4 gifts between any of the Campanellas, Planet Zoldath, Pilot Quest, or the Big Bell Race. The good thing for cherries on this card is having Pilot Party on your card means that you have access to all of those games to cherry as well if you want to. I don't think this is a cherry run of Camp 1. But that is also a boss in 6 different games. So both players have seemed so far like they've had a little bit of a rough generation in Waldorf. Like they're having to kind of stay at the bottom of the map so far. Which is a little difficult when you're trying to make like big leaps and stuff because you're kind of forced to use a lot of energy. And I think honestly, if personally I died in the first like 20%, I would probably just restart for this goal specifically. If you're a guy, you're not 100% sure exactly what heckaroni's aiming for since they haven't been able to mark off the space yet, but heckaroni has made some pretty good general goal progress so far. The Campanella 1 gift is also like surprisingly difficult in my opinion. It doesn't necessarily seem like it would be because I'm pretty sure it's just have 15 lives at once basically. But it's pretty tough. There's like kind of a lot that you have to do to get through these levels without dying. Nice shot into headwind too. And rewarded with the canned fish there. And did have to spend 8 shells though. And this headwind is making it pretty difficult with this layout to really like get anywhere. Oh, got a tailwind now. Which in my opinion is equally terrifying when you're trying to go slow like this. I didn't know you could actually talk to Princess Penguin from like a different platform. That's funny. So I hope heckaroni is reading that this is a boss in 6 different games and not trying to just get a second boss in this game, because the basketball boss won't actually count for this general goal. Could also just be trying to ensure that this is a top 5 as well. I don't have my little like card that I normally have that mentions exactly what the top 5 leaderboards and stuff are. But I'm pretty sure top 5 in Camp 1, yeah, is only 5,000, so... Good general goal synergy so far. May just be going for a top 5 rush now. Oh, I didn't even see that stage B boss, Camp 1 square. So good synergy there to just grab that, also grab a boss, also grab a top 5. Kit Club is probably going to do a similar thing, where heckaroni's going to come in, defeat a boss, from defeating the boss, get a top 5, and then move on. Because I'm not seeing also an extra life in this, I think at 15k. So the nice thing about extra lives and bosses is they actually synergize pretty well, because a lot of the games that have quick bosses are also the life-based games. I think the first life in Kit Club is a 10. Yeah, okay. I knew it was either 10 or 25, but 25 felt kind of far, so... Very unfortunate. Guy launched back to where a puffin was, but is at the end of the stage and has 2 keys but no shells. Well, there's a treasure chest at least. I think is more interested in the puffin, but might as well grab these shells, I guess, in case you decide to... Oh, there you go. There's the puffin. You're good. See? You got rewarded. So that is the have 4 puffins at once square. Yeah, that was a nice backwards Waldorf play. You don't normally see players get to the end of the level and then double back like that. But heck yeah, indeed. GG. Hopping into Mortal, probably specifically for the extra life, because this is one of the fastest extra lives. I was going to say maybe going for a boss, but the only boss in this is only really viable if the Mortal 1 thing is on the card, so probably not. There is actually pretty nice synergy also for a bit of an extended Campanella 2 playthrough in this. Because you can get the talisman and a gift, and I guess even theoretically a cherry if you get lucky enough. I'm just gonna give a guy the credit for the life in this, because I haven't seen if he actually got it yet, but I'm pretty certain he does. Yeah, you gotta be a little careful with this tennis ball boss. I was just about to say the scariest place for that ball to get stuck that you're kicking is in the corner. And then that is a boss for heckaroni in this game. And we're in Party House. I'm happy to see that, but I'm a little surprised because I thought that they were going for an extra life rush based on how quickly they hopped into the other one. And then this is also going to be a top 5 when this is done. So thankfully I was prepared for these general goals today, because both players are rushing these pretty well. And I think it makes sense to rush these because in addition to center square being a general goal, they're all like kind of in pretty good spots for you to do. So this is going to be another game that I think is mostly just going to be the extra life and the top 5. I guess theoretically could be a boss, but I would be surprised to see heckaroni stay in there based on how quickly it looks like they're trying to rush these generals. I was very happy to see a head-to-head in Waldorf and then also a backwards play in Waldorf actually pay off, because you really don't see that very often in Waldorf, honestly. So I think I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway just for confirmation. If I pick a party house scenario with the counselor, and like cancel away the trouble. I assume that doesn't count for having 6 trouble in the party at once, right? Like I assume it has to be like the actual trouble X's. That's how I've always interpreted that goal, but just making sure that everyone else is also interpreting it the same way, because honestly, if you can use counselor, this goal is potentially pretty busted. I'm assuming by the way the rule is written that I would probably need to have the trouble X's specifically, since that sort of is what signifies trouble. But like, everyone also knows that the Wild Buddy like is the trouble unit, for instance, so like I'm not sure if it means like have 6 just trouble causing units, I guess. Yeah. The way I've always interpreted this, it's just have 6 X's on screen, basically, but was just thinking about it while I was watching some Party House. Ba-doop, boop, ba-doop. We do have the cops in all caps if y'all have BTTV.
Also my nopers.
Oh, why'd they bring in the trouble when the kitty was already there? Anyone open Pilot Quest yet? Nope, not yet. So, earlier in the day, a B1 match was like almost completely decided by players opening Pilot Quest late, and I like swore to myself that like anytime I remotely saw Pilot Quest on the board, I would immediately try to go for Pilot Quest. I think... Oh, okay, I think we're good. Okay, yeah, there's the top 5. And I'm gonna assume the extra life. I forget if I counted that extra life already, but I don't think I did, because we should be up to 4 on that. So that is 4 extra lives. Not bosses. Top 5. Do you know if the bartender counts if you use the counselor? The bartender doesn't like synergize with counselor, so I assume because of that you would need the X on the unit specifically. I remember because I had a random run that died to that. Because I was like, oh, counselor's so great with bartender, why does nobody use this? And then I immediately was like, oh, that's why, because it doesn't work that way. So in this case, I'm gonna go ahead and randomly shout out Scenario 5 again for this goal, even though I haven't actually done Scenario 5 with this goal, because Magicians can also be used as trouble mitigation if you like have trouble in your party, but then you also have a Starguest that's not trouble. You can swap out a trouble unit with a Starguest and just kind of pull like a otherwise useless Starguest instead. So theoretically a way to kind of manage your trouble. Yeah, Magician is actually becoming one of my favorite units because it's way more versatile than you think it is. Like a lot of the times people basically just use it at the end of the game to be like, oh, all I need to do is swap in my one genie or whatever and then I win. But the fact that you can like do it at any time with any unit and either convert a star unit to a non-star unit or non-star unit to a star unit, kind of gives you more flexibility than you'd think at first. I think so if all your Starguests are already at the party, it just says like the Magician can't swap or something like that. But like if you have a star unit in your deck, and like a lot of times with Magician heavy decks that I've played, if you like pull a Magician early, you kind of just have like unlimited flexibility. Like here, for instance, if you're trying to get up to 6 trouble and you happen to have a Leprechaun or whatever, and you pull your trouble too early, but you pull a Magician or whatever, you could theoretically swap to the Leprechaun and turn your trouble that would have canceled your party into a decent amount of money. I think part of the fun of Party House, honestly, is trying to just get to the point where, like, you start testing out those, like, really niche situations. And I also missed if we got a top 5 in that, but I'm going to assume we did, because I'm pretty sure the top 5 in Magic Garden is, like, very quick. Yeah, I'm personally on... like, I'm getting ready probably to just try to see if I can go for Party House streaking and see how long I can go. Or potentially just trying to learn the Party House run and figure it out. Because I think there's a lot of combinations in that game that work, to the point where I'm more convinced that any scenario can work if you're lucky enough and or creative enough. I do think people tend to lock in on like one or two like really specific things that have to happen in Party House in order for you to win, and I don't think that's necessarily the case. I do think you have to get more lucky in some scenarios than others, and there's definitely times where like you kind of just get screwed, but that's sort of to be expected from a Dominion type game like that anyway. Like, I've played enough Dominion on the stream at this point that I am pretty well aware that if you get unlucky units and bad luck, you're kind of just like, alright, well, this game sucks, but... yeah, and I think, obviously, like, bartender spam with a bunch of trouble and stuff is, like, the way to quickly just win games and stuff, and it's definitely really good. But I think if you just even keep in mind, like, those really niche situations where, like, Magician suddenly is the best card that you gotta work with, or, like, Celebrity is your only money generation, so you gotta deal with it if you want this cherry. Like, I think those situations are the most fun in Party House for me, because it's interesting to see, like, the weird combinations pay off. Anyway, back to the game at hand, I guess. It looks like we are in Fistel for another quick boss, which I'm a little behind on. I do think that the preset scenarios are kind of more tutorial mode for, like, the regular game, personally. So I think I'm correct on this boss count, and we're up to 3 now. We are in Bug Hunter to do what? What is Bug Hunter doing on this card? Oh, complete your first job. Thank you. I was like, I know it's here somewhere, because I definitely remember reading it, but now that I'm trying to look for it quickly, I couldn't see it. So definitely putting some pretty good pressure on the middle column bingo here. True, Gary. So as much as I love Party House and think it's actually a pretty cool bingo game, I am equally terrified of any amount of Bug Hunter. I feel like Bug Hunter is the one game that I've practiced for bingo and just feel like I'm getting actively worse at when I practice. And, like, part of it is because I'm kind of trying to do the Party House thing where, like, I sort of just see what I'm given and hope for the best, and it's a little harder to do in Bug Hunter. But, like, also, Bug Hunter's a cool game and I would like to be good at it, I just am not. Oh yeah, we did get the top 5s. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I actually wrote that down. Okay. You gotta be careful. I was gonna say, you gotta be careful of that guy's body slam attack, because it actually does a decent amount of damage. trying to get the stun lock working again, but unfortunately not able to do so, but does know about the pizza and the trash can, so that's good. Okay, there you go. It's tough when the werewolves and butcher guy are on opposite sides, but that is the second square, or the second scare, excuse me. And tied 3-3. We also do have boss progress in 1, 2, 3 games. Okay. So another fantastic synergy here. We can earn an extra life. We can clear stage 1 without dying. We can get a boss in another game. So this is what I was kind of mentioning in the preview of this. I don't really know what Bingo Sync's specifically doing lately, but it sure seems like they're giving like a lot of like really cool synergistic cards to players this week. And this board has definitely not been an exception to that. Every game Heckaroni's gone into so far has like helped fulfill like 2 or 3 spaces on the board at once, and that steady progress is definitely helping pay off even through the flurry of like fast spaces. I do think as the game goes on, it's interesting that there's like still fast spaces, but they just become harder. Like Star Wasper Wave 3, if you're a god at Star Wasper, isn't really like that far in, but like beating stage 3 of Star Wasper is like one of the hardest things in the game, so. So popping back over to looking at the Bug Hunter stuff, and it looks like it's going okay. This is about the pace that you want to be at. The modules kind of look whatever, but in my opinion, if you have shift, you're at least looking okay. Because shift by itself is like one of my favorite modules for sure, because it just changes so much with the elevation mechanics in Bug Hunter. And having control over 2 of those things each turn is pretty powerful. So I haven't seen if we've gotten a ticket yet to try to get a 1-up in this, or if we're just here for the stage 1 without dying in a boss. Thankfully, this game has a hit system, which is pretty rare for really any game in UFO 50, but especially the shmups. Do have to be careful, because if you die in stage 1, then...
You die in your life?
Yes. Thank you, bud. So the second ticket, I believe, is just across this gap over to the left. There you go. Okay. So, did know about that ticket. Ooh, scary. I look over and there's just money everywhere over in Bug Hunter. I don't understand how that happened, if I'm being honest, but basically you can travel anywhere you want and grab money. There are also kind of a lot of eggs on screen. Okay, so the eggs are good, but these other guys are going to turn into eggs now. This is the part of Bug Hunter that gets hard for me, where like you're almost there, but then the guys just keep turning into eggs, so then you don't get credit for the eggs because they're eggs and not bugs.
And mom's coming?
Yep.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Oh my god, that was close. Alright, that was terrifying, Heckaroni. Good job. That's the boss in another game. I'm gonna wait to confirm that they actually get the extra life here, because this mini game can sometimes be pretty trolly. Okay, they got one. So it's an extra life and a boss. Not 45. Calm down. Alright, so I have Boston 6. Or Boston 6 has 4. Top 5 has 4. Extra Lives has 5. Going to Campanella, which is a good idea for another boss. All you have to do is beat stage 1. You can also stay in for the pilot party gift. Neither player has made like a ton of progress in pilot party, but this is a good place to start because all you have to do is beat the bonus game. Okay, so I see we have Bombard in this Bug Hunter game. Hate that it's referred to as a continue for that game. Yeah, it's a little confusing, because that doesn't super vibe with like the rest of the interpretations of lives in this goal, but it definitely does count, so. And the pilot party gift obtaining here is also going to actually count towards earning an extra life, so while Guy has been good about picking fast goals and like keeping the game like at a very fast pace, heckaroni has also been doing that and has also just been grabbing general goals along the way, so I wouldn't be surprised if in like a game or two we have a pretty big point swing where heckaroni maybe even has like a double or triple mark off, because they have lined up very well with a couple of general goals at a time, and also just doing the goals fast, honestly. Like, it's kind of tough when like it's tough to play against when your opponent is having a lot of like really tight synergy like that, on top of just also completing stuff that's like on the board. I will say, personally, I think it's easier to 0% stage B than it is to 100% stage B. So I've just been in the habit of learning how to dodge everything in stage A, and making the bonus game like pretty much free from there. Oops, sorry.
No, it's not you, actually, it's Hunter's.
No. So in terms of kills, Guy is looking pretty good. I think, unfortunately, like, Bombard is really helpful, but in this specific setup, it's like not the most helpful, because it's not the like raising elevation guys, it's the anti-energy guys. It does have shift at least, so can like put one of these guys on a pedestal and then bomb them, which is nice. And I think, like, honestly, if he's able to keep up that pace for the rest of the game, should probably be fine here. And that's going to be another boss. So that's the 5th boss. And 2 bonuses is actually kind of sketch, so let me make sure that heckaroni actually gets this before I move over. Basically, the amount of waves that you 100% clear makes this bonus game either like really easy or really hard. And just barely got the 51, so did get another life as well. So that is pilot party, another boss, and another extra life. The synergy of these general goals is outrageous. Also, very good job to a guy for clearing that Bug Hunter. It is very much pressuring that middle row, but unfortunately is pretty far behind in terms of being able to defeat a boss in 6 games. We do see a guy getting to run Mooncat. Just kidding, we don't. That was the ultimate tease, but that's okay. Might be trying to save Mooncat for the theoretical 6th game, I guess. But he is pretty far behind on this goal, and I think heckaroni's actually going to be getting it here. Heckaroni theoretically could grab a boss in a 6th game, an extra life from wave 2, and beat wave 3 on this. So very curious to see how this specific Wasper goes. And also nice is the heckaroni knows the cheese of just sitting in the top left corner. which means that heckaroni also has some time to read the board here and either try to figure out what a guy's doing or just honestly chill and get some rest until those bigger bugs show up. Do have to be a little careful when they show up because they do fire pretty much immediately. But that is going to be a boss in 7. I guess this would have also counted for a top 5 here. Oh, 6, sorry. So that does claim the center square here. I think Guy might stay in specifically for the gift for Camp 1. Nope, just gonna quit out. Smart play. Now just gonna go for Mooncat. I think was gonna go for Mooncat before, but saw the value of the center square, and unfortunately just kind of got started on that a little late. The center square on this board, as well as any board, is definitely very powerful. Because not only did that block the bingo that Guy's been working for the entire time, it did immediately threaten that diagonal bingo. It also threatens the other diagonal bingo, and I guess that in terms of like remaining bingos on the board, that's it. But gonna earn another extra life here, so this should be extra life number 7. I missed if heckaroni got the extra life in Wasper. Yeah, so that's also a nice thing about the general goals, especially the ones that like are still pretty general and you can just do even if they're not like directly on the card or whatever. Guy really doesn't know what games heckaroni's been playing at this point outside of the ones that have had like the super direct synergy for the rest of the board. So Guy's kind of just even still like almost 40 minutes into this, like not 100% sure where heckaroni's spent all their time so far. So Ninpak, Mortal, Kit Club, Campanella, Waldorf, Alphazar, Camp 3, and I didn't see if they got one in Star Wasper, but I'm assuming because they didn't mark it off, I don't think they did. So looking like we are going to at least try to threaten the diagonal bingo, but as I mentioned in the header, a guy is very, 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 very good at Mooncat, and it is honestly cool that I actually got to cast a match where he gets to play Mooncat for a second. Because I feel like I've casted a couple of guys' matches, and I think this is the first time I've gotten to actually like chill and watch him play Mooncat. And like watching people play Mooncat who like know how to move in Mooncat is very cool. Like I didn't even know that jump was possible. I know the like basic ass gold route of Mooncat, but I am more serviceable at Mooncat than I am like good at Mooncat. So watching someone actually like good at Mooncat is cool. And meanwhile, heckaroni is going for beat 3 rounds in Devolution while placing the maximum number of pieces each round. Good news is this is only 3 rounds of Devolution. The bad news is it can be kind of annoying to place down all of your pieces sometimes. I know a lot of people tend to kind of just fill out the board like they normally would and then do what heckaroni's doing where they just put the rest in the corner. Or like in places that you really don't want the demons to spawn next time. But yeah. We got the Death Warp, let's go! Yeah, I think in terms of bingo, even just knowing the red egg route that we saw a guy do here is pretty important. This is the shortest route through the game, like, kind of by far, in my opinion. The yellow egg route is the second shortest, and then the green egg route is tough. I thought guy was dead there. I like the little victory hop. Good job. That was a fast run. Not surprised, but always fun to watch. 422, Jesus. That was like a super clean Mooncat too. Like I don't know if that was guy's PB, but that was exceptionally clean. And also with the concentration of spaces that a guy has, is threatening both the bottom row bingo and the right column bingo. You know, you have a runner in the match when they check their time in the middle of bingo. I am also guilty of doing this, and I feel both called out and seen, so thank you, Guri. But 422 is a fantastic Mooncat time, so I would also be checking that time. So, I'm not gonna lie, as a caster, I love seeing Quibble Race in bingo. As a player, I am swerving so hard away from any Quibble Race that I can do. Oh, we're seeing some block koala. Nice. I actually would like to borrow Guy's route here, because as much as I actually liked block koala when I was playing it casually, I have not practiced block koala enough for all of the goals that are on the card now. I feel like block koala shows up every game and is probably the game I need to like practice the most at this point, because it always seems to show up in like really tough situations and every board, honestly. I mean, it looks like we are in round 3 of Demolition and getting ready to blow everything up. I have not been keeping track as to where things are at this round, but it looks like we're good already. Because you only have to beat 3 rounds, you don't have to perfect 3 rounds. So that is that corner. The diagonal has already been blocked, but at this point, you might as well just go for the synergy. And we are seeing the Camp 2 synergy too. Nice. Okay, so I mentioned kind of like at the very beginning of the match that we can get a talisman, we can get pilot party. Depending on how the game decides to give the scrolls, we can also do a cherry disc. I don't know if Heckaroni is comfortable enough in Camp 2 to bust out a cherry on command, but I would say this board has like a couple of quick cherries, but the third one is gonna kind of just be whatever players are comfortable with, if that's even gonna be a goal to go for. Yeah, I mean, if I ever cherried Camp 2 in bingo, I'd be popping off. I have been practicing my Camp 2 at least, so I'm not like as bad at it as I used to be, but sharing this game on command, much less with the pressure of a bingo match, is definitely a different beast entirely. Yeah, it's probably not something that even if Heckaroni stays in and gets the other goals, I don't think they're going to want the time investment of it, given how fast this is going. But if the 3 cherries is something that they're thinking about in any way, shape, or form, like it is a pretty good one to go after. Also, I'm surprised, I just now saw that Mortal 2 activate all the switches space. That's just like the regular old activate all the switches, so you can use Scout in that and it doesn't take very long. So it could theoretically be a good block for Heckaroni or an additional bingo opportunity here. Yeah, there was some Discord discourse about that space earlier, and then Campus just casually dropped like, oh, here's the perfect route for it. Sounds about right, honestly. Thank you, Campus. So Camp 2 looks like it's going okay. Couldn't begin to find that middle switch. Yeah, the middle switch is definitely the most annoying to get to, like, with or without Scout. It is a little bit better with Scout, because you can at least double jump up and save yourself some time. Or if you get switches in a different order, can go for that. I guess we're not going for the pilot party square. Can you still collect 2 scrolls in one run of Camp 2 if you don't collect the first one? I've never tried, because normally if I don't collect the first one, I just restart, but... I was gonna say, I thought they spawned, like, if you get 1, you get 2, but wasn't actually sure on that one. Just saying nothing. I vibe with that guy, I understand. So, looks like, I haven't really like commented on the block wall play too much. It looks like guys have been making some pretty steady progress. That is funny, because all of the other guys in this game, like, understandably get really pissed off if you shoot them while they're trying to give you something. They're just happy little guys excited to give you the scroll. Okay, so seeing Hyper Contender on this card, on a card of cherry discs. The guy's not trying to chat, right? Okay. I think just looking up a guide to this, which is totally fine. I just wanted to make sure he wasn't saying anything in Bingo Sync. So seeing Hyper Contender on a card with cherry discs made me kind of curious. If you're theoretically trying to go for a Hyper Contender cherry, does changing the ring settings like make that easier? Because I saw RPM do it last night when he was running the quick play cherries, and I was curious why we haven't like super seen that in Bingo yet, and I just wonder if it's because nobody really knows about it. Because like one thing I am noticing this season is it is looking pretty helpful to have a wide range of golds and cherries under your belt, which I think means that like some of these golds and cherries that like people aren't super considering for Bingo may actually be a bit more helpful. This is my boy Dedeco. It is from a PS1 D&B mix. Looks like it's SR20 DET. But we're like 27 minutes into that one. Yeah, no worries. Alright, so we got the talisman and immediately quit out. Oh, we didn't quit out. We just left the room. I thought that was an actual quit out, but it may just be playing to see how far they get. I hope they're not playing still to try to get the Camp 2 gift, because they're not actually able to get it this run. And also not able to get the cherry this run. And also not able to get a 1-up. So I guess I'm not entirely sure why they're still in Camp 2, but... that's right. For some reason in my head I had the Camp 2 gift as collect 2 scrolls, but it's definitely just the friendship bracelet. So yeah, maybe just kind of hoping they find the shop. I know they've had a couple of opportunities to find a shop, but then the stars have just kind of been in the way. Yeah, it's tough when you're specifically trying to look for a shop in Camp 2 and the stars end up being more of a hindrance than help. Oh, unfortunate. I don't think the ship shop would have had it anyway, but that was rude. And meanwhile, it looks like we are in here for the final one-up, and this is suddenly actually threatening a pretty scary column 5 bingo, or column 1 bingo, which might actually mean that Guy maybe wants to try to get some overbold progress soon. I think it's trying to do a life rush, but is pretty far behind on that as well. He is going to be able to catch up a little bit here because he hasn't done very many of the like quick one-ups so far. But is in a situation where he's basically got to get like 6 one-ups, I think, before heckaroni is able to finish a wave and grab the coin without dying, basically. I'll have to check on Guy's main menu if he's gotten other one-ups that I haven't tracked yet, but I'm pretty sure he only has Camp 1 and something else. Oh, Ninpeck. So I think Guy's gonna have to, I was gonna say, start killing some guys here if he wants an extra life from this. Because, like, the dim sums do give extra life, but they're more health than extra life. And not really worth, like, they're worth 100 points, but they're not worth as much as maintaining a combo here and just killing some guys. You see the, I was gonna say the 10k, but see the 20k in Seaside and get to the bonus game, which, if heckaroni is able to beat this, will be the extra life in 8 games. And I think at that point we'll immediately force Guy into an overbold gold disc that I don't know if he wants to do. Oh, I never noticed that your charge meter doesn't go down in the bonus game. That's good to know. And there's the coin, there's the gift, there's the space, and all of a sudden we might have an overbold race. That did. Thanks. Yep. Yep, alright, we're seeing some overbold. I think this is the right call both for potentially just ending the game and also making progress to block Guy's bingo. Meanwhile, I don't think Guy sees it yet because it looks like he's going for the rail heist 9 devil stars, which is a pretty long way in. I forget I'll probably just ask after these ads, but is the devil stars specifically just like any of the 3 stars that you earn, or is the devil star specifically the one where you have to like end 9 levels having killed everyone? Meanwhile, a pretty quick reset in overbold, which is fine because currently Guy's not threatening that yet. That was really funny that that lawman didn't see that somehow. I maintain that Rail Heist is the funniest game in UFO 50. Although the humor of Quibble Race is definitely also not to be matched. So it looks like heckaroni's doing the pace that they need to do to be able to clear the gold disc. Typically, nope, sorry. Typically you want to have about 400 to 500 per round. Okay, so Guy is making like a little bit of progress in multiple goals right now by bouncing back and forth between Rail Heist regular progress and Worm 1, 2, 3, 4 trying to beat Eastern levels. I think he had one level beaten last time, but I'm gonna be honest, I didn't mark it down because I was kind of expecting him to stay in. But I think I saw one square marked. Welcome back from the ads. During the ad break, we got the final extra life, and Heckaroni is pushing the column 1 bingo, while Guy is making some general progress towards this Worm 1, 2, 3 goal, and also Rail Heist. I'm not 100% sure if Guy sees the bingo threat yet, or is just, yeah, not excited about Overbold and not wanting to go into it. But Heckaroni also doesn't want to play Overbold right now and goes into Combatants instead. Yeah, this match has been really fast, so I'm not super surprised that one of the two players kind of forced the bingo into one of the really hard goals on this card. I am a little bit surprised that that Mortal 2 goal hasn't been marked yet, given how important it is to block with that bingo, and also just because it's a pretty fast goal. But I think this game is going fast enough that like the players have justified not going into it, even though it is at this point in a pretty good space on the board. Wait, that was it, Guy. All you had to do was push it. There you go. So I'm pretty sure this is the second level Guy's beaten because he was in this goal earlier and backed out. But I missed... Hi, Val. Shoutouts to Val. Val loves the ants. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and trust the Guy beat 2 levels and then quit out and then came back because that would make more sense anyway. If anyone wants to VOD check and confirm that he beat 2 levels last time, feel free, but I'm like 99% sure he did. Yeah, I think one thing that's important to note about this being a B2 tier match is I think this is where game preference starts to weigh in pretty heavily. Like in all of the A tier matches, and honestly at this point in all of the B1 tier matches I've seen, like at this point I think it would be pretty much a head-to-head Overbold race, even if neither player particularly liked Overbold. But because Overbold is a pretty picky bingo game, I definitely don't blame both players for instead just trying to opt for other general goals, especially since the game is still pretty close and both players are in position. I do think that the general beat a boss in 6 games and the general goal of extra life 1-up in 8 games, being able to get both of those while synergizing with like other stuff has definitely been the difference of this game so far. Oh, Princess didn't make it there in the race. Snowball's dizzy, but so's Prickles. Get up, Snowball, it's your time to shine. There you go. I'm gonna be honest, I have not been keeping track on if guys winning bets on Quibbles with a 5-to-1 higher payout. So I'm just gonna go ahead and trust that if he marks this, it's good. This does theoretically... Thank you, he has 2. Okay, thank you. This does theoretically also open up Guy to... I don't think he has enough for Quibblerius Jury, actually. I think he's just trying to win the bets, period. I figured Snowball did. I wasn't sure if he had another one before then. Alright, well, Hedzir clutched it out. I don't think Hedzir was a 5-1 odd, though. But Shadow is the ultimate life form. See him pull through. It is not good that the AI put 400 on the Screamer. Shadow immediately trips. Oh wait, no, that's Prickles. Shadow's busting it up. Oh, but then got something kicked in front of him. Now he's doing the kicking. Shadow wins! Good job, buddy. And immediately quitting out. So it is 7-8, which in terms of score is obviously pretty close. Unfortunately, since we've been threatening the Overbold Gold Disc, it is kind of lingering in the back of Guy's mind pretty much the entire time. Oh hey, Pilot Quest! We can't open that. Forgot that that was even on the board at this point, if I'm being honest. So the gift in Pilot Party will require us to beat it's Tomi, right? And beating Tomi is pretty hard. Like, even if you spent like the full hour 45 on like setting up the meat farm and getting meat and stuff. Definitely one of the harder overworld bosses in my opinion, just because at this point you don't really have a lot of like, you don't have a lot of damage potential since nothing's upgraded or whatever. I was waiting to see if he was going to get the ingot, but it would have made much more sense to just plant a couple seeds and then get out of there. So we may be seeing a Pilot Party rush, which would theoretically open up Guy to a column 5 bingo, and would put us in an interesting situation where both players would have bingos for 2 incredibly hard goals. Which is kind of funny. And we do beat Pinsard, which is nice. And I think we are... Oh, we're going back into Overbold. Okay. So Heckaroni trying to just end this game here before giving Guy a chance to come back at all. Dropping the celebratory opening bomb in Overbold, as is tradition. So, I'm not gonna lie, I did not understand the power of bombs in Overbold until I was specifically practicing for bingo, and the first random goal that I got was Overbold Gold Disc. And I was like, well, I'm gonna be here for like an hour and a half. And Tyler was in chat and was just like, yeah, this goal used to take me forever until I used lure bombs. And then I got it first try. I can't. It's okay. Honestly, Overbold is a tough game. So I'm going to assume that Guy got the Pilot Party gift, because that was just beat a race. So when I was like ending that Overbold run, I ended up actually getting both, because I think if you're just relying on the bombs like 100%, it ends up being kind of hard in the final wave to like actually get the kill that you need. But like if you're able to even just like pretty much have all the lure bombs set up with like maybe a couple less bombs and like an upgraded gun or something, it's like surprisingly smooth. Like, I haven't done like consistency testing on it or whatever, but like I went from being absolutely terrified of Overbold Gold Disc to getting it in like 8.5 minutes or something. And if I was able to get Overbold in under 10 minutes in an actual bingo setting, I'd be very excited. Hi Rev, how's it going? So we finally are seeing the Mortal 2 activate all the switches goal, by the way. I think this is a pretty... Honestly, and it's an important block, and it's also setting up the column 4 bingo. Because these players have kind of just, like, kept to their own bingo opportunities so far. And it's led to us being, like, over an hour into this match, and both players actually having some pretty interesting bingos available. I think it makes sense for Guy to be pivoting to Pilot Party and just trying to get lives now. So, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like Camp 1 is actually like one of the slower gifts in Pilot Party. Like, even assuming you know where, like, all of the points and stuff are, like, you still kind of gotta get, like, fairly far into Camp 1 to be able to get them. On top of, like, not dying ever, because anytime you die, it just sets you back farther and farther. And, like, the Camp 2 gift is pretty fast if you just go straight to more woods. The Camp 3 gift is 1 level if you do it right. Big Bell Race is 1 level if you win at all. And then I feel like Zoldath is probably faster. I am becoming more and more of a Zoldath believer, like, day by day, honestly. I feel like that game has always kind of low-key been a pretty good bingo game, but especially with Trotters now, is just, like, a top-tier bingo game. Like, having to learn all that stuff on the fly and adapt to everything while also, like, in the middle of a bingo match is pretty hype. I don't know if either of these players feel the same way, I'm gonna be honest, but... Okay, so we are getting pretty close to this top switch. I'm not sure if this is the... I think this is the first switch, based on the lives. Yeah, and I mean, if I'm Heckaroni in this situation, and assuming that Guy is in Overbold, even though he maybe doesn't want to be, if Guy is able to get that Overbold space first, it does actually put him in a pretty decent position to threaten that bottom bingo. So I think even if, like, it's just for, like, defensive purposes right now, it makes sense to go for that space. But then it would also basically put Heckaroni just as close to that column 4 bingo as Guy is to the column 5 bingo. And I feel like the Zweihander is pretty far into Valbrace, but also you can kind of just follow guides for both those spaces if you needed to. So I asked this, I think, while we were in the middle of an ad break, because it was when a guy was in there. For that rail heist goal of collecting 9 devil stars, that's specifically referring to the, like, kill all lawmen star, right? And not just, like, any of the stars that you can get? Because I assume it's not just... Okay. Is that the very hard? Because that's pretty long. It's like almost half a rail heist. That's another game that I need to just sit down and learn the bingo stuff for, honestly. Also, guys, at 14 lives and 15,900 points. Alright, got it. Just wanted to point out how agonizingly close Guy was there for a minute. We are seeing the Zoldath. Nice. We are not seeing the Zoldath. Gonna check in on Pilot in the future first. Alright, So it looks like we are up to 3 seeds in Pilot Quest before popping in Zoldath. Most likely just gonna like keep popping in and out of Pilot Quest until able to actually get meat going. Meanwhile, we're at the 69th life of Mortal 2. Nice. I think we are still trying to make our way to the middle switch. So the gift in Zoldath is just collect a overworld piece, or collect a map piece. So basically whichever piece guide finds first. I feel like most of the time it's the overworld piece, but sometimes you can get lucky and find your like dungeon opening right away. And sometimes you can get really lucky and your trade piece is like super easy, but I feel like the trade piece is normally not the first one you find. Okay, so we're gonna see a reset here. I don't think this Mortal 2 goal has to all be done in one run, right? So like, it doesn't matter that heckaroni reset as long as they just get the other 2 switches. Alright, so we have the boomerang and the pulse generator in Zoldath. I've missed if we've seen the mat piece. Yeah, I imagine that's consistent with it. I just want to make sure, because bingo bingo syntax is important. I'm glad that I at least don't have to keep track of the keys that heckaroni is collecting. So we are at max health in Zoldath. The dungeon entrance is going to need the boots, which I don't think we've seen so far. But we do have the translator now, so we can actually go back and talk to these guys over here. Meanwhile, I'm not sure where heckaroni is going. Secret lies 1 plot west and 4 plots south. There's a pulse generator to open the way. Oh good, you have one of those. So if you find one of these secrets, you kind of just gotta go to the screen that it's telling you to go to, and then use the item that it's telling you to use, and that is the only way that you'll really be able to get in there. So pretty convenient that the first guy that he talked to with the translator gave him the secret like that, because blows up the ground at the bottom. Is this the overworld piece? It's not, but it's rare materials, which is also helpful. I think it can either be rare materials or an overworld piece, or like an item that gets you the overworld piece. So it looks like we are maybe just going for the Mortal 2 cherry. Oh, a guy quit out. Okay. Maybe deciding that Zoldath wasn't the best for Pilot Party. Unless he got the Zoldath piece like the second I wasn't looking. So, interestingly, we get to see both halves of Camp 3 play, where if you get 100% in a wave, you get an extra easy bonus game, but you also get that bonus if you have 0% in a wave, and you can kind of just chill off to the side. Depending on how early to the board this is, you can use it to read the board and stuff too in some spots. I've decided to not 0% anymore. I will say that once the guys get here, they go up and down, and it's a little harder to 0%, but oh no. falling all the way to the bottom and then getting eaten by the jellies. Oh no, again! Oh no, a third time? Why are we the engineer again? I'm confused why engineer keeps getting picked here, because I feel like if you were falling all the way to the bottom, you would probably want to be bomber. Cannot do 0% stuff to save my life. So, personally, I thought 0% is easier than 100%. It's maybe not in stage B, because I haven't actually practiced it in stage B as much as I practiced it in stage A, but this little like back and forth that a guy had to do just then is probably the hardest thing in the level, and outside of that it's kind of just baiting stuff, which is not always the easiest, but it's kind of a skill you have to learn for a lot of the shmups in this anyway. Is kind of just baiting the enemies to go where you want to go rather than the other way around. So for heckaroni's sake, I think they're trying to just get the cherry now, but I think are a little confused at the ending of this cherry route. Are they trying to get to the other switch through that scorpion? Because if so, they can just go like straight down from here, basically. Alright. And we see a gal brain down and 2 out of the 4 bonus stages. So once again, this will probably be pretty tight, but manageable. If you get only 1, it's like, it feels like it's almost impossible, honestly. 2, you start to get enough gold balloons that it ends up feeling doable, but still difficult. Oh no, but was short. It was only 42. So personally, this is why I like just getting the 0% route down for stage A, because then you just get 4 of those and every single balloon is yellow. And you can like max out the score pretty easy. I feel like if you like are relying on 100% for some of them, if you even miss like 1 shot, you're suddenly out of the way. Whereas if it's 0%, you're kind of just learning positionings and movement and can almost guarantee it. I think not quite as much in stage B based on how stage B just operates with the guys that are shooting you. But in this one you can at least... That guy's going so slow! I didn't know the little like worm guy takes so long to go all the way down. I thought he was like pretty instant about it. So it does look, by the way, that Heckaroni is trying to get the 3rd switch by going over that way. I knew there was an animation because I had seen them at one point like kind of pull you away, but I did not realize the animation was that slow. I did not realize it took them so long to actually like go all the way down from that one. Okay, so Heckaroni is looking like they're heading towards the bottom left switch now. They're maybe not sure where the middle switch is, which is why they're running around in this specific way. If I had to guess, that is most of the confusion here, is the middle switch, which admittedly is a pretty annoying switch to reach, like even when you know where to go. But it's like basically directly underneath Heckaroni here, but there's like a layer of spikes in the way. So he's gonna have to basically lure this guy out of the way and bomb down here, which I think he's now seeing. Should be back on track now. And speaking of back on track, it looks like Guy is back at Galbrain and now has 3 0%. you'll be able to see the difference between 2 waves of 0% and 3 waves of 0% here, because there should be like a pretty significant increase in the amount of gold balloons that are there. Went too far down for the green switch and is gonna have to bring that back. But they are close to the second switch. I don't know if they've gotten that in a previous run. I know they got the top one, but yeah, they gotta go left for one of the switches. Gunner mentioned, let's go. Gunner died, that's okay. Gunner tends to do that. Oh no, please do not go underneath the map. No, don't do it! No, don't do it! I've seen this before! I accidentally did this before. And it's funny, but you also can't do anything about it. Yeah, I've only seen this during practice. So that's what I was trying to yell about. But for some reason you could just go under the map if you put the warp there, and the only way to kill yourself is to sacrifice yourself. I was trying to telepathically warn that that would be a thing. I looked away, by the way. I'm assuming Guy got the Camp 3 gift. Yeah, it's much more devastating if it's a scout, for sure. Did they activate that switch? Oh my god, keeping track of these goals now is getting so hard. It's now at the point of the game where like players have made like partial progress on a couple of different things. I'm so lost, I was worried about that. So, given the fact that they haven't hit this blue switch down here, I'm assuming they've hit the blue switch. There is a route in the resource dock, which both players have access to, that shows where the switches are at. It's specifically a route for this goal, but without scout. But like the switches don't move locations or whatever, so you can just use that map too. But heckaroni is having trouble finding the green switch in the middle of Mortal. And thankfully they have time, because Guy has been working on the column 5 for a little bit. But they are going to have to basically go back down to where they bombed and then go to the right before falling all the way down. Like, when I was casually playing this game for the first time and like actually used all the switches and stuff, this is absolutely the last one I found as well. Because for how connected the map is, this is like really... I've never seen that many flies up there. For how connected the map is, it's pretty surprisingly hard to find this switch. Like, they tucked it away really well. Yeah, I mean, we're at 25 lives, but thankfully, like, I don't think a reset here would really change that much. I guess they have made, like, a slight amount of progress towards the switch here. Oh, unfortunate. So I was trying to set up the teleporter to be able to just go down there, but I think maybe thought on a previous attempt where he'd already killed that guy. So it's, for heckaroni's reference, it's just down from here, through that spot that you bombed down here, and then over to the right after you go through that spot that you bombed. So falling down here, fall down more, fall down more. No, they're gonna explore this area, but this isn't where it is! Oh, all these scout jumps are so good, but they're not actually helping you right now. Okay, we are here finally. This is the area you need to be. I think heckaroni now realizes that and has 18 lives to get through here. It's gonna be up to the top. Set a safety portal. I think Guy died in Camp 2 before getting that gift, because he's back in Zoldat now. Oh my god. maybe consulting a map, try to make sure that he knows exactly where to go here. He's definitely, like, got the lives to get through this area, but just has to be careful. That's fine, I guess. That's not fine. That's not where you go. Don't go that way. No, that's just for a key. That's not the way you go. We're getting... Okay, this is actually getting scary on lives now, because heckaroni is going down here when this is not the way to go. You gotta go up that way. Yep, now sees that. Okay, so go up and around. You got 10 lives to get through this. This is intense. Meanwhile, it looks like in this Soldath seed we already have a lot of weapons, but not really a lot of anything else. I think heckaroni is now just looking up a map. Oh hey, the dungeon. Okay. Just grab a warrior, slash away. This part's hard. Just runs right under it. Okay. Just hit the switch, please. Thank you. Celebrate after. Thank you. Well done. Alright, hopping back into Camp 1 to presumably just try to grab the pilot party square. Alright, so looks like this check is going to at least need the pulse generator, and knowing Zoldath will most likely also need the boomerang. But you know, you at least need the pulse generator to be able to go farther.
I guess I can potentially just be unmuted now.
Yeah, just be unmuted. That's not his almost done anyway, so.
Okay.
Oh, I think you were just... Oh no, it's still coming to Zoldath. I guess you were just muted because you were focused on painting. Makes sense. They're both gearing up to do 9 devil stars. Guy has 1 devil star so far, and that is the most real heist has been opened. But if you want to show us how cool that route can be, Keeney, please feel free. Yes, there has been 1 devil star collected. Meanwhile, it looks like we are doing a little bit better on Camp 1 this time. The bonus games are pretty important for this goal, because you are going to need to get 15 lives. But leaving the bonus game with 9 lives is pretty good, because you can just kind of grab stuff. This goal definitely is easier if you know where the cherries are at, and it looks like both players are pretty comfortable with that. So we found another dungeon entrance, but this one's going to need a way to defeat the crystals. There's a couple of different ways to do that, but the safest way is just to use that nail gun right there. And it looks like we are up to 11 out of the 15 lives. So this theoretically still is a pilot party race. Guy is up 3-1 right now and basically just needs either a Zoldath piece or the Camp 2 friendship bracelet to be able to clutch it up here. But depending on Zoldath's luck, like, this could still be a race for heckaroni to come back in. okay, but died out first, unfortunately. I don't think that they got up to 15 lives first. So maybe just trying to look and see what else is on the board. I think most of the spaces left on the board are pretty not fast, but I forgot the Kini has, or I forgot the Heckaroni hasn't gotten the gift from Big Bell Race yet.
Oh, is the music super loud?
So I'm just gonna go ahead and put it in now, because yeah, so Pilot Party is nice because it basically says of any of the games with Pilot, you get gifts in 4 of them, which like actually does give you a little bit of flexibility on a board like this to potentially go for more stuff that you're like comfortable with over like stuff you absolutely have to do. So is going to be able to clear that snail if he wants to, but isn't going to be able to get past that snail anyway. And is just going to quit out of Zoldath. That's fair. Depending on your Zoldath luck, I definitely don't blame players for going for Camp 2 over Zoldath. Alright, so it is now 3-2 in Pilot Party. And we're seeing a head-to-head Camp 2 gift race. How fun. I feel like we almost never see a head-to-head in Camp 2, like, at all anyway. But seeing a head-to-head Camp 2 gift race an hour and a half in is pretty cool. So, as a reminder for people who maybe don't know every single gift in this game, the gift in Campanola 2 is to collect the Friendship Bracelet, which is an item that you can get for 100 coins in More Woods, or 400 in other stores, but you almost, like, every single time just get the 100 coin one, and sometimes you get a little unlucky in More Woods, so just because one player started this earlier does not necessarily mean that they're like actually ahead right now. But we do have a pretty evenly matched head-to-head so far. As both players are now in the second level and just trying to find their way through burrows too. I don't think there's super reason to like pop out of here. There's a lot of stars right next to each other for Heckaroni, so I think all you really need to do is just make sure that you have enough money to be able to actually like buy the thing first.
Yeah, thank you for making sure.
Which is like technically easier said than done since neither player did the side-scrolling area in Burrows 1 to get the money multiplier. So yeah, I think at this point you kind of just gotta grab the money and go. You could theoretically try to grab a couple of extra coins here, I guess, but it might not be worth the fuel. And as we are heading into the end of the Burrows 2 side-scroller, we'll get the bombs for Rotundo. And just gotta kill him, move on to presumably More Woods, grab the Friendship Bracelet, and if Guy is able to grab this first, that will block the square that Heckaroni is currently working on, and will theoretically put this down to either a Star Wasp for Wave 3 bingo for Guy, or an Overrolled Gold Disc bingo for Heckaroni. So players don't know about the bingo board until a minute before they're supposed to start playing. So players get a minute to review and have to be blind to the board until then. They get 60 seconds to look over the board and try to figure out where they want to go. And then if they like want to read the board for more time than that, they can. There are some goals that are like not very input heavy. And we're getting a weird tunnel in More Woods. Kind of just gotta go into one and hope. Both players are in More Woods, just begging and pleading for a shop. Oh, this is so close. Please don't die from crashing. Oh, there it is. Make sure you have the money. There's the gift. So it is tied 3-3, but if guy gets this, then it doesn't really matter. But yep. So very, very close pilot party race, honestly. And all of a sudden, with 10 minutes left in the match, it's either a Star Wasper Wave 3 grind or an Overbold Gold Disc grind. I do not know if either of these players wanted to be in this situation with 10 minutes left. Heckaroni saying heck no to both of those and just going for spaces. And a guy also saying heck no and going for the exact same space. So, in my opinion, this makes slightly more sense for Heckaroni to do than it makes for a guy to do. Because since there is only like 8 minutes left in the match, a guy's going to need to pick up 3 spaces in this time to be able to win by majority. And if he is able to win by bingo instead, that overrides it. So, like, theoretically, if neither space was marked outside of Star Wasper Wave 3, a guy would be able to win 9-10. But if he's going for majority, he's going to need an extra 3 spaces here. And while I understand the appeal of setting up a bingo in a match and then not going for that bingo and hoping your opponent's in it, I think this is kind of crunch time, and sort of, even though it's not a great space to have to try to get a bingo with, I think you kind of just got to go for it at this point. If you're guy, I think it's safe to say that Heckaroni is just not going for the Overbold Gold. Although I guess, to be fair, they could have been in it ever since the Mortal 2 space. So it's not like it would be, like, unreasonable for the guy to assume that.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah, I can just open it.
I feel like with Guy aggressively setting up that column 5, I was kind of expecting him to just throw 10 minutes of attempts at Star Wasper.
Well, that's okay.
And, like, granted, throwing attempts at Star Wasper for 10 minutes does not in any way guarantee that you're going to get the Star Wasper Wave 3 clear. Because Star Wasper Wave 3 is heckin' hard. But I feel like if I'm a guy and I put myself in the situation where a bingo could win it for me, if I happen to just game out of my mind for 5 minutes, I feel like that is the out that maybe makes more sense on the bingo board. And if I'm Heckaroni at this point, like, the opposite is also true for stopping the only way the guy can come back. But I do also sort of understand the appeal of just going for spaces if you're unable to beat Star Wasper Wave 3 or just don't feel confident in it, really. And I say this as someone who, like, would dread being in the situation personally, because while I love most of Star Wasper, Wave 3 is pretty oppressive. But I am a little surprised to see the guys not actually going for it. The match is over in 5 minutes anyway, so. Okay. So both players taking a reset here on Hyper Contender. I think this does put Guy in the lead for this space specifically. But unless Guy is able to bust out some other quick spaces here, I don't think they have enough space on the board, really, to be able to complete this comeback by points. I am a little bit surprised that both players have had a bingo opportunity on the board, and neither has really either gone into it to try to block it or to try to just end the game. granted, they're on 2 of the hardest spaces, I think, in Bingo. So I don't, like, blame them for not going into it, but it is a little surprising that they both put themselves in position where if they are able to grab those spaces, it's just over. And I think this is Battle 4 for Guy and Battle 2 for Heckaroni here, so should be seeing this goal, I presume, marked off before the end of the game, but like even if Guy is able to grab it here and bring it back 9-10, I don't think it's gonna super change their results unless he's able to clutch something else out really quick. So does grab the space. It makes it 9-10. With 3 minutes left. Keeney, we're playing Rail Heist. We at least opened it. We click continue. We're continuing. Alright, and I think just throwing an attempt at it, because why not? We are seeing at least an attempt at the overpulled gold disc. And there we go. Is maybe the fastest I've ever seen anyone die in overpulled. I like this the slow contemplation of what to do for that guy before just deciding to punch him in the back of the head. So, while I appreciate the valiant attempt to come back with this, I think is going to unfortunately be going to time. And it was a very well fought game by both sides here. Definitely pretty back and forth the entire time. And an interesting situation where both players theoretically had a bingo here. And until the closing minutes here, I don't think either really went for either. But Overbold showing why Overbold Gold Disc is really hard, and Star Wasper Wave 3 is even harder than that, I would say. What a mean shot from that guy. He looked like he was just going to leap right over and instead stop pixel perfect and shot guy in the back of the head. Unfortunate. And time. So with that, Heckaroni wins 10-9. Very well played. Very fun game. GG's. I think we're just waiting for Guy to see it because he's in the middle of Rail Heist, shooting some people.
Oh, fun. Oh my god. I was literally right, like, a couple hours before this match, I was like, maybe I'll spend some time practicing Mortal 2. And then I was like, I'll be fine. and then I spent half an hour trying to find the third portal.
It happens.
I really thought I could, like, take the, what's it called, the cherry route, and then, like, take a pipe down or something, but that was wrong.
Yeah, so the cherry route, like, comes across most of the switches, but the middle one especially is pretty tough unless you're, like, going out of your way to get there.
Yeah, so I discovered.
Yeah. I think once you learn where it's at, it's kind of hard to forget, but for a map as interconnected as Mortal 2, it's definitely pretty easy to not see it.
Yeah.
Speaking of not
Accidentally
seeing it,
went
I don't think Guy sees that the match is over yet.
every which way. Was Guy spending a lot of time on like overbold gold? Is that why he didn't check anything off for a while?
So I don't think Guy even undusted Overbold, I'm gonna be honest.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because I spent all that time on Mortal 2, but he didn't, what's it called, mark anything off during that.
Yeah,
I was
so
like,
I think while you were in Mortal 2, he was working on Pilot Party quest, or Pilot Party stuff, and I thought as he was working on that he was just gonna kind of rush that Column 5 bingo and just kind of hope that Star Wasper Wave 3 went well. But then he also didn't open up Star Wasper after that, so I think was setting up and hoping that I guess that you were gonna go into Star Wasper instead, but I think it was just so late into the match that it made more sense for Guy to go into that than you.
yeah. I think there's also a chance that just neither of us felt confident beating Wave 3 of Star
Yeah.
Wasper, but I'll ask and see.
Alright, I think Guy finally saw it. Okay, there we go. GG's.
Yeah.
That was a very fun, well-played game from both of you. I thought it was interesting that you both forced each other into some pretty nasty bingo opportunities if either of you were able to grab those last spaces.
Yeah. We were just talking a bit about Star Wasper, which I was too scared to try Wave 3 of. I couldn't even get the 1-up. I was trying to do it for 1-ups. I failed that.
Yeah, Star Wasper Wave 3 is disgusting, so I definitely don't blame either of you for not going into it. And honestly, Overbold Gold Disc is similarly difficult, so I definitely don't blame y'all for that either.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, when I pulled this board for y'all, it seemed like it was going to be a pretty fun one, so I hope y'all were able to have fun and get some games down. I know there was also some stuff that was maybe a little scary on this board, but I think both of you did a good job of seeing the cross synergies and stuff, so.
Yeah, the general goals on this board were also crazy.
Yeah.
So much overlap.
Yeah, I've watched Boards of Canada do the extra lives and bosses simultaneously, kind of like you did in a different game. And it's really surprising how easy it is to stack those two general goals on top of each other.
Yeah. And then add in also top 5 on 4 leaderboards.
Yeah, the leaderboard, extra lives, and bosses are all the exact same game, so. Yeah, I don't really have too much to say. That was a well-played game by both y'all, and definitely looking forward to casting future games with y'all.
Yeah, thanks again for hosting.
Of course.
I appreciate it.
I'm glad that I was free enough to be able to do it tonight. Sorry it was so last minute, but at least we got a game going anyway.
No, we owe you the apology if anything. Scheduling kind of happened last minute, so I appreciate you coming on.
Of course.
And thanks again, y'all, and have a good night.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good night, y'all.
Bye 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 bye.
Good night.
Okay. So I think both of the matches that were going on during this match are already over, but let me just check just to make sure. But I will also be wrapping up an ending stream here because I am hungry. And I wanted to eat before this game and wasn't super able to. Okay, so it looks like both of the games are over, but how much longer are you going to be streaming, Bun?
There's 78 minutes left on this promo, but I'm not sure if I'll go the whole time.
Should I raid within UFO 50 then, or raid you?
Whatever you want to do.
I would like to raid
I
you.
would probably prefer UFO 50, but...
Well, how about I give you the big shout out so y'all can just go over and follow my wife Bun, who's painting a really pretty painting in the background. I guess you are correct that the viewers who are watching UFO 50 would probably prefer to stay in UFO 50, but I want to raid Bun. Changed my mind. Have a good night, y'all. We're gonna raid my wife, Princess Bun Bun, who's working on a beautiful painting, and now y'all get to see it too. We will probably be back either tomorrow or Friday. I still haven't actually heard from my opponent, so I don't know when my game is going to be this week. But I'll be live on someone else's channel for that game. I may not be able to cast quite as much this week because I want to make sure that I'm not burning out on casting and stuff by doing too much at once. So I'll probably try to take it a little bit easier on the casting for a bit, but it's been fun to cast the matches that we've gotten so far. They've all been really good. And, yeah. Have a good night. Stay tuned for more UFO 50 bingo, but probably not a ton this specific weekend, I guess. Good night. Bye.